Good day everyone. So for today's video, we're going to tackle about communication and part of communication. But first, let us know what is communication. Communication is the sending and receiving of information and can be one-on-one or between group of people and can be face-to-face or through communication devices. Communication requires a sender, the person who initiates communication, to transfer their thoughts or encode a message. Here are some fields of communication.
Public relation is the strategic communication process aimed at building mutually beneficial relationship between an organization and its various stakeholders. Here's a brief explanation of each branches. The first is relationship building. Focuses on fostering positive connection with the stakeholders such as customer, employees, investors, and community through engagement and communication initiatives. The second is reputation management. It involves monitoring, evaluating, and shaping perception of organization among its stakeholders to maintain a positive image and credibility. Media relation deals with managing the relationship between the organization and media to ensure activity, products, or services. Event management involves planning, organizing, and executing events such as launching, promotional activities, stakeholder enhanced visible, and also the content. Um, the fourth is the content creation and dissemination. This focuses on producing, compiling articles such as press release, articles, social media posts, and video to convey organization message effectively to each target audience. The sixth is crisis communication. Deals with the crisis of immerses limited negative impact on organization reputation and stakeholders. And number seven is advocacy and lobbying. It involves promoting an organization interests, policies, or objectives to government bodies, regulatory agencies, and other stakeholders through advocacy, campaign, and lobbying efforts.
The second part of fields of communication is corporate communications.
Corporate communication refers to the strategic management of all communication within and between an organization and its internal and external stakeholders. So there are the some key aspects of corporate communication. First is the organizational alignment. Corporate communication aims to align the organization's communication efforts with its overall strategic objectives, ensuring that all communication activities support the organization's mission, vision, and values. Second is the internal communication. These aspects of corporate communication focuses on communication within the organization such as employee engagement, internal information sharing, and the facilitation of effective communication between different departments and levels of the organization. Third is the external communication. Corporate communication also encompasses external communication, which involves communicating with stakeholders outside the organization, such as customers, investors, media, and the general public. Next, the reputation management. Corporate communication plays a crucial role in managing the organization's reputation, both proactively and reactively to enhance the organization's image and credibility. Crisis communication. Corporate communication professionals are responsible for developing and implementing crisis communication strategies to effectively manage and respond to organizational crisis or negative events. Next is the branding and marketing communication. Corporate communication often works closely while marketing and branding teams to ensure consistent and effective communication of the organization's brand, identity, and messaging across various channels. Stakeholder engagement. Corporate communication involves engaging with various stakeholders such as employees, customers, investors, and the local community to foster positive relationships and address their concerns. Last is the measurement and evaluation. Corporate communication professionals are responsible for measuring the effectiveness of communication efforts and evaluating the impact on the organization's goals and objectives. So, overall, the corporate communication is a strategic function that aims to align the organization's communication efforts with its overall business objectives, manage its reputation, and effectively engage with both internal and external holders.
One of the part of fields of communication is journalism. As one of the oldest forms of mass media in the country, journalism as field is traditionally associated with the print media, especially newspaper. Newspaper are publications which contain information of current and general interest to the public. Its main function is to give information and reflect public opinion. Communication practitioners working in this field aim to provide accurate, timely, and reliable information to the public. It covers a range of specialized sections including politics, business, entertainment, sports, health, and career. Practitioners working in this field include journalists, news anchors, proofreaders, editors, photojournalists, columnists, and layout artists. Here are some parts of or the under of journalism. The first is news reporting. News reporting in journalists refers to the practice of uncovering and presenting information about events or issues that have recently occurred or are currently unfolding. This type of information aims to provide the public with timely and relevant news updates. An example of news reporting could be a journalist covering a breaking news story, such as natural disaster or a political scandal, or a major sporting event, and providing real-time updates through various media channels like news websites, social media platforms, or television broadcasts. Second, under or parts of journalism is objective and accuracy. Objective and journalism refers to the impartiality and fairness in reporting, presenting information without bias or personal opinion. Accuracy, on the other hand, means providing correct and reliable information to the audience. Example of objectivity and accuracy in journalism would be a news report that presents both sides of a story fairly, without favoring one's perspective over the other, and ensures that all facts and information presented are verified and truthful. For instance, a report on a political debate should provide quotes and context from all participating candidates without injecting the journalist's personal views or beliefs into the narrative. The next part of journalism is storytelling and narrative. Storytelling and narrative in the journalism refers to the technique used by journalism to convey news and information and compiling the engaging way, often by structuring the content like a story with a clear beginning, middle, and end. This approach helps capture the reader's attention and make complex or dry topics more accessible. The next is media platform. Media platform in journalists refers to the various channels or outlets through which news and information are disseminated to the public. Next is investigate reporting. Investigate reporting in journalism involves in deep research and analysis to uncover hidden truths, corruptions, or wrongdoing, often involving extensive interviews, document analysis, and sometimes undercover work. Another part of journalism is ethical considerations. Ethical considerations in journalism refers to the principles and standards that guide journalists in their reporting, ensuring accuracy, fairness, and respect for the subject and audience. The last part is public service. Public service in journalism involves reporting on issues that are of significant importance to the public interest, often focusing on matters such as government accountability, social justice, and community welfare. It aims to inform, educate, and empower the public while holding powerful institutions accountable. An example of public service journalism is investigate reporting that exposes corruption in government or uncovers abuses of power by corrupt corporations, thereby serving the public's right to know and promoting transparency and accountability. The next part of field of communication is broadcasting. According to Peter, broadcasting is the distribution of audio or radio or video television content using the airspace to a dispersed audience. For Robles and Tuazon, defines broadcasting as a field in communication that utilizes the technology of radio and television to transmit message and programs using the airspace, an invisible but vital resource in the public domain and natural world of nation. Radio and television are effective vehicles for sending information and news, for creating and propagating popular culture, and for entertaining mass audiences. Broadcast media practitioners include actors, production assistant, broadcast journalists, camera operators, citation manager, technical director, and videographers. Here are some parts of broadcasting. The first is media platform. Media platform in broadcasting refers to the various channel or the outlet through which content is disseminated to the audience, including television, radio, streaming services, and online platform. An example include NBC, CBS, ABC, BBC, CNN, Fox News, HBO, and Netflix. Yan ang example sa television. Was sa radio station, example includes NPR, National Public Radio, BBC Radio, and local AM or FM station. As you can see, ang journalists at broadcasting ay mayroong media platforms pareho. Media platform and journalists and broadcasting share similarities in terms of their role in disseminating information and reaching audience, but they also have differences in their focus, content, and delivery methods. Content creation and broadcasting refers to the process of conceptualizing, producing, and delivering media content for television, radio, or digital platform. This can be include a wide range of formats such as news program, documentaries, talk shows, entertainment shows, and online videos. Content creators and broadcasting are responsible for generating engaging and informative content that resonate with their audience. An example of content creation and broadcasting could be a television network producing a documentary series exploring social issues, featuring in-depth interviews and archival footage and expert analysis. The content creators would research script, films, and edit each episode to deliver compelling and thought-provoking program for views. Next is live broadcast. Live broadcast and broadcasting refers to the real-time transmission of audio or video content as it happens, allowing viewers to experience events as they unfold. These can include news coverage, sports events, concerts, award shows, and more. Another part of broadcasting is audience engagement. In broadcasting, audience engagement refers to the ways in which broadcasters interact with their audience to foster a sense of connection, participations, and community involvement. These can include various strategies such as encouraging viewer feedback through social media, hosting live polls or Q&A sessions, and incorporating user-generated content into the broadcast. Next is regulatory compliance. Regulatory compliance in broadcasting refers to adhering to laws. Next is regulatory compliance. Regulatory compliance in broadcasting refers to the adhering to law, regulations, and standards set by government authorities or industry organizations to ensure that broadcasters operate within legal and ethical boundaries. These include guidelines on content, advertising, licensing, spectrum allocation, and technical standards. An example of regulatory compliance in broadcasting is adhering to the Federal Communication Commission (FCC) regulations in the United States, which cover aspects such as indecent, obscenity, political advertising, equal time prevention, and ownership rules. Aside from regulatory compliance, we also have revenue generation. In broadcasting, it refers to the process of earning income through various means related to broadcasting activities, such as television, radio, or online streaming platforms. This can include advertising, sales, subscription fees, sponsorships, licensing content, and other form of monetization. Broadcasting companies rely on this revenue stream to sustain their operations and produce content for the audience. Another part of broadcasting is technological advancements. This refers to innovations and improvements in the method, tools, and equipment used to transmit audio and video content to the audience. Examples include the transition from analog to digital broadcasting, the development of high definition and ultra high definition video formats, the adaptation of internet protocol television and streaming services, the use of virtual reality and broadcasting, and the integration of artificial intelligence for content recommendation and personalized experiences. The last part is convergence and multimedia. Convergence in broadcasting refers to the merging of different media platforms such as television, radio, print, and digital media into a single integrated system. This integration allows content to be accessed and distributed across various platforms seamlessly. Multimedia broadcasting involves the creation and dissemination of content using multiple forms of media simultaneously, such as combining video, audio, text, and graphics. An example of convergence and multimedia and broadcasting is a news organization that produces a television broadcast, streams it live on their website, releases audio clips of interviews as podcast, shares highlights on social media platforms, and publish written articles on their online news portal, all from the same newsroom and production team. This approach enables the organization to reach a wider audience across different platforms and adapt to the preference of diverse audience segments.
The film industry refers to the collective business and organizations involved in the production, distribution, and exhibition of motion pictures and films. So, there are some key aspects of the film industry as a field of communication. Storytelling. At the heart of the film industry is the art of storytelling. Filmmakers use a combination of visual, auditory, and narrative elements to craft compiling stories that engage audiences. The ability to develop captivating scripts, characters, and plot structure is crucial in the film industry. Visual communication is a film that high visual medium and filmmakers employ a range of techniques such as cinematography, lighting, and editing to convey meaning, evoke emotions, and create a specific visual style. The effective use of visual communication is essential in the film industry. Audio communication, sound including dialogue, music, and sound effects, plays a vital role in film communication. Filmmakers use audio to enhance the emotional impact, set the mood, and immerse the audience in the story. The integration of audio and visual elements is a hallmark of effective film communication. Audio communication, sound including dialogue, music, and sound effects, plays a vital role in film communication. Filmmakers use audio to enhance the emotional impact, set the mood, and immerse the audience in the story. The integration of audio and visual elements is a hallmark of effective film communication.
The fourth part of filmmaking is collaborative approach. Filmmaking is collaborative endeavor involving the coordination and communication of various creative and technical professionals such as director, producer, cinematographer, actors, and crew members. Effective communication and collaborative are crucial for the successful execution of film project.
Audience engagement. The film industry aims to engage and captivate audiences through the power of storytelling and visual or audio communication. Understanding the audience preferences, cultural context, and trends is essential for filmmakers to create content that resonates with their target audiences. Industry conventions and practices. The film industry has its own set of conventions, protocols, and professional practices that govern the production, distribution, and exhibition of films. Effective communication within the industry, including understanding industry jargon and adhering to industry standards, is crucial for success. Next is marketing and promotion. The film industry heavily relies on the effective communication strategies for marketing and promoting films to potential audiences. This includes the use of trailers, posters, social media campaigns, and other promotional materials to generate interest and awareness.
Occurs when technologies or applied sciences become more precise, accurate, efficient, and more powerful or capable. Scientific and technological advancement have made many important changes through history. some better than others.
Cultural influence and impact. Films have the power to shape cultural narratives, influence societal perceptions, and spark discussions on important issues. Filmmakers often use the medium as a means of communication to convey messages, ideas, and perspectives to their audiences. Overall, the film industry is a dynamic field of communication that combines storytelling, visual and audio elements, collaborative practices, and audience engagement to create and distribute compelling cinematic experiences.
The last part of fields of communication is advertising. According to Crisostomo, advertising is paid communication about goods, services, ideas, and institutions through the mass media designed to inform or influence one or more people in accordance with the intent of the advertiser. While definitions may vary, advertising is a communication process whose end goal is aligned with the objectives of the advertiser or the pay of the service. Corporations use advertising to sell their products, goods, and services to the customers. Advertising in itself is still a broad field. Most people associate it only with the production of commercials, whether in print or broadcast media. However, commercial are just part of the bigger advertising world that may also include marketing, public relations, self-promotion, event management, and interactive media. Careers in advertising industry can range from being copywriters to account executive to graphic artists to brand managers, art direction, sales, and marketing officers, and advertising sales representatives. One of the part of advertising is advertising persuasive communication. This aim to influence advertising persuasive communication and advertising involves crafting message and content that aim to influence the attitude, beliefs, or behavior of the audience in order to encourage them to take a specific action such as purchasing a product, supporting a cause, or adopting a certain behavior. The next is the second, target audience identification. The target audience identification of advertising involves identifying and understanding the specific group of people who are most likely to be interested in and responsive to a particular product, service, or message. This process helps advertisers tailor their campaigns to effectively reach and resonate with the desired audience segment. For example, if a company is launching a new line of athletics shoes designed for the runners, their target audience might be include individuals who are interested in fitness, sports, and leading an active lifestyle. By identifying this target audience, the company can create advertisements that highlight the performance feature of the shoes, showcase them being used in running environments, and use language and imagery that appeals to avid runners. This targeted approach increases the likelihood of the campaign resonating with potential customers and driving sales.
In broadcasting, media selection and identification in broadcasting likely refers to the process of selecting media content and identifying it before it broadcasted. This involved choosing which program use segments, advertisement, etc. will be aired and then properly labeling them for viewers. It ensures that the right content is broadcasting at the right time and in the right context.
Is creative development. Creative development and advertising involves the process of conceptualizing, designing, and producing engaging and memorable advertising campaign that effectively communicate a brand's message or product benefits to its target audience. It involves brainstorming ideas, crafting compelling visual and copy, and refining the concept to resonate with the audience and achieve the desired advertising objectives. Branding and positioning. Branding and positioning and advertising involves creating a unique identity and image for a product, service, or company in the minds of consumers. This identity encompasses the brand's values, personality, and visual elements such as logo, colors, and typography. Positioning, on the other hand, is a strategic process of establishing how a brand wants to be perceived relative to its competitors in the market. The next is measurement and evaluation. Measurement and evaluation in advertising refer to the process of assessing the effectiveness and impact of advertising campaigns. This involves analyzing various metrics and data to determine how well the campaign achieved its objective and whether it generated the desired outcomes. One common example of measurement and evaluation in advertising is tracking key performance indicators, such as reach, impressions, click-through rates, conversion rates, and return on investment. For instance, a company running an online advertising campaign might measure the number of clicks on their ads, the resulting website traffic, and the conversion rate of visitors into customers. By analyzing these metrics, they can evaluate the success of the campaign and make informed decisions for the future.
Rights of communication. As with counseling and social work, professional and practitioner of communication are also provided rights and privileges in the practice of their profession. Their rights is constitutional grantee. In 1987's constitutional grantee press freedom in Article 3, Section 4, it states that no law shall be passed abridging the freedom of speech, of expression, of press, or to be the right of people peaceably assembly and petition the government for redress and grievance. Article 3, Section 7, on the other hand, grants the public access of information including government reasonable condition prescribed by the law. The states adopt the implementation of policy of full public disclosure of all transitional and bold public interests. The importance of communication to Filipino highlighted in the same article in section 24, which states that the states recognize the vital role of communication and information in the in nation building. All of this provision highlights the state commitment of safeguarding not just the communication professional and journalists' right to free expression but Filipino as a whole. So let us move on to the code of ethics of fields of communication. As the most as one of the most powerful as one of the most powerful institutions in the country, the field of communication wields a strong influence on the cultural and political life in the country. This necessitates that communication practitioner and professional be ethical in dealing with information, particularly for data, those working in the mass media. The importance of ethics in the practice of journalism is understood by this quote from Louis Theodoro 2013. Ethical compliance and professionalism are still the best protection for those who conduct themselves as a journalist and true professionals should, rather than as instrument of political interests, as a politician themselves. Journalists can't be politician and neither be politician can be journalist at the same time without compromising either colleague, and as the Philippines experience demonstrate inventing deadly force. So the code of ethics is crucial for communication practitioner and professional, especially to those working in mass media. It ensures that they handled information ethically, as Louis Theodore in 2013 aptly stated, ethical compliance and professionalism are still not the best protection for those who conduct themselves as a journalism and true professional should, and rather as an instrument of political interest, as a politician themselves. So the journalist can't be a politician, and politician can neither be a journalist at the same time without compromising either calling the Philippines. So this this ethics conducts essential, especially in the field of communication.
Competence of a communicator. What makes a competent communicator? According to Spetsbergen, 1983, communication competence means having the ability to interact well with others. Friedrich, 1994, operationalized this better when he defined communication competence as a situational ability to set realistic and appropriate goals and to maximize the achievement by using knowledge of self, other, context, and communication theory to generate adaptive communication performances. So, this competence is measured when the goal of the interaction is met and shared meaning is produced from both sender and receiver despite constraints in the situation. Spitsbergen identified accuracy, clarity, comprehensibility, coherence, expertise, effectiveness, and appropriateness as traits arising out of a competent communicative event. Ang competence o sa Tagalog ay kinatawag natin kakayahan ng isang mahusay na communicator is may kakayahan silang magpahayag ng mga ideya at mensahe ng malinaw at madaling maintindihan. Kasi ito ay nagpapakita na kakayahang magsalita at magsulat ng maayos. May kakayahang makipagtulungan at makipag-ugnayan sa iba. Ito ay nagpapakita na kakayahang makipag-usap, makinig at makipag-interact sa mga tao. May kakayahan ding maunawaan ang konteksto at sitwasyon ng komunikasyon. Ito ay nagpapakita na kakayahang maging sensitibo sa mga panlipunan, kultural at emosyonal na aspekto ng komunikasyon. Motivation. Motivation is the individual's approach or avoidance orientation in various social situations. Motivation is the impetus for engaging in a communicative event. Examples of motivation are acting a task or closing a deal. Knowledge. Knowledge is not simply the accumulation of information found in books or as discussed in a classroom. Knowledge in this case means having a plan of action and the disposition to execute the plan toward the achievement of a goal. To illustrate, A lot of research and preparation goes into persuading a company to buy a product. Knowledge that will be helpful in this case includes the company's background, the composition of their top management and employees, and most of all, their needs. Having known all this beforehand means tailoring your presentation to the needs and the culture of their organization. Skill. Skill is the behavior or action actually performed. It is the product of motivation and knowledge. This is what you gain after engaging in a successful communicative event. So, competent communicators therefore are motivated, know what and how to put a message across and elicit feedback, and optimize the effective use of verbal and nonverbal communication to transmit their message.